Well, last season, the Knicks and Lakers ranked first and second in opponent points per game and both ranked in the top 11 in terms of win percentage. This season, however, both teams ranked in the bottom third in win percentage and point differential. So the question is, who's in a more frustrating position? Is it the Lakers or is it the Knicks? Oh, I should go over here first.
Go over there.
Let's save the best for last on this Knicks, but let's go with you, Perk.
It's the Lakers, and it's not even a debate for the simple fact the only people that really had expectations for the New York Knicks was Stephen A., Spike Lee, and the other New Yorkers. When you look at the Los Angeles Lakers and what they did for us building this team, it reminds me of the 2004 Lakers with Gary Payton, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, and Karl Malone, all guys that were pretty much old, future Hall of Famers that formed together. At least they got to the finals. At least they didn't have a disappointing season. So when I look at the Lakers with all those guys from Melo, Braun, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, Dwight Howard, and they're in the position that they're in right now, not only is this a disappointment right now of frustration, but this might be the biggest disappointment in NBA history for us, where they at right now.
I don't know about that because 2 years ago they won a championship. I think it's the biggest separation or, divide from that championship season to where they are now. And the issues that they have had have largely just been, the investment in Russell Westbrook and hoping that he would transform this team. Yeah, he's increased their pace, but then there's been bumps and bruises along the way. And then Anthony Davis's lack of availability, that's what's really hurt the Lakers. When I look at both franchises, premier franchises in the NBA, my number one issue is that we have the Lakers with expectations and the Knicks. We all know what the Knicks likely were last year. I mean, hopefully they win a first round, playoff series, but in actuality, it's not surprising to see them sort of struggle this year, knowing that last year was pretty out of their realm.
Well, first of all, not only is Kendrick Perkins wrong, but he's very cruel. I thought I was his boy. I have to rethink that because he said the truth when he said the only people that had expectations were the Knicks, was Stephen A., Spike Lee, and those New Yorkers. Well, damn it, who's answering the question now? It would happen to be Stephen A. So I'm going to go with the Knicks, okay? Because I am a native New Yorker. Because I am a diehard Knicks fan. Because I have been struggling. Because I was a sucker who stood up in Madison Square Garden during COVID and said, New York, stand up. We here. We here, okay? And less than a year later, it's all evaporated. All of it. We're not talking about them in any kind of capacity whatsoever in regards to anything new. All we're doing is looking at the Knicks and saying, this is who they used to be. They're back to being who they are. I do know that the Lakers have been a huge disappointment, but Anthony Davis's injury and the non-workability of the chemistry involving Russell Westbrook with them, but that's just for this year. The second this season is over and we look forward to next year, we'll say, LeBron, clean this up in the offseason so we could get back. With the Knicks, we see an abyss. We don't know if there's a light at the end of the tunnel or there's any hope. Because World Wide West is my brother, because Scott Perry is that dude, because Tom Thibodeau can coach, because I'm trying to hold out every hope for Leon Rose, that's the only reason I'm able to contain myself, but that's all I have. You have LeBron. We have Leon Rose.
By the way, today,
he's 38.
Today,
Morgan,
Stephen A.,
go.
2 years to the day that Leon Rose became the president of the New York Knicks.
I like Leon Rose.
And this is where they stand.
I like Leon Rose. I've known Leon Rose for years. But I meant this sincerely when I said it. There are inmates in state penitentiaries more visible than Leon Rose.
I'm gone.
I don't know where he is. I'm not talking about in the stands during the game.
Right.
I'm talking about answering questions, giving New Yorkers some hope, talking to us about what your plans are. There are inmates in state penitentiaries more visible than Leon Rose. Jeannie Buss is seen and heard from more than Leon Rose. She don't do many interviews.
No, she does not. But again, the Knicks are the Knicks.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.